This morning, we're taking a closer look at what many migrant women face on their way to the United States. Earlier this week at this hour, we saw the first part of a special report on the sexual abuse and rape against migrants in Mexico. Today, we have part two. I want you to know parts of the story you're about to see are disturbing, but this is a reality that has been affecting so many women for so long, but now it's gotten to a critical point. Joining us now, MSNBC contributor Paula Ramos. Paula, thank you. You visited a Mexican city near the border, met some women who were raped on their way to the United States. What did you learn?
Well, Jose, what these women told me, which is the same thing that was also confirmed by immigration activists, lawyers, NGOs, and the migrants themselves, is that there is a disturbing and very concrete rise in the rate of sexual violence against migrant women on the Mexican side of the border. Now, you and I know, Jose, that cartel violence has always been a norm in these Mexican border towns. The difference now, though, seems to be the way that the cartels are very explicitly weaponizing sexual violence against migrant women as yet another form of extortion and torture. And so what we're about to see, and to your point, these are very difficult images, but they do show the way that this type of very vicious violence has consequences, Jose, on both sides of the border. Take a look.
So we just crossed from Brownsville, Texas, over to Matamoros. Right now, we're in the state of Tamaulipas, which is considered one of the most dangerous places in Mexico, more than anything because of the cartel violence that's taking place here. Now, every single person that we've talked to on the ground is telling us that the rate of sexual violence against migrants is escalating. It's increasing. It's getting worse by the day. So we're on our way to a refugee shelter to understand the impact that it's having on the migrants that are crossing from these border towns into the United States. Maria, her husband, and their two children say they had to leave Guatemala last year after receiving death threats from the same gang that had already killed nearly half of her family.
No traíamos zapatos, no traíamos ropa, nada.
They traveled north, hoping to be near the U.S. border as they waited for their official immigration appointments, a crucial part of seeking asylum. They had no idea the worst part of their journey would take place just feet away from Texas.
Ya puestos aquí en Tamaulipas, en Reynosa, se sube un grupo. Se cruzó una camioneta blanca y subieron vestidos de negro.
¿Quiénes?
Y empezaron a decir, somos los del Golfo.
¿El cartel del Golfo?
Sí.
¿Estaban armados?
Sí, con pistolas en mano. Y mi marido me quedaba viendo y me dice, nos van a matar.
Usted en esos momentos, su marido pensaba que ahí
nos iban a quitar la vida. Y empezaron a quitarlo la ropa, me desvistieron toda delante de él y me empezaron a golpear porque yo les decía que no traía dinero y ellos me decían, pásame el teléfono, vamos a contactar a tu familia para que pague tu rescate. No tengo quien pague rescate. Entonces me van a decir, nos vas a pagar con cuerpo. Empezaron a violarme más de 20 personas. Y me decían, esto te pasa por no pagar. Y para que recuerdes que el territorio mexicano se respeta. Yo les decía, ya no puedo más, déjenme por favor.
¿Usted tiene marcas del ataque que sufrió y de las violaciones?
Sí, tengo en mi cabeza, en mi rostro, en mis pies, en mis manos. Me abrieron aquí también. Querían meter drogas para que yo pasara. Yo les dije que no.
Many of the migrants in the shelter have endured similar situations. ¿Cuánto tiempo estuviste secuestrada?
Como casi un mes.
¿Un mes?
Sí, porque no tengo dinero, entonces me abusó de mí.
En ese mes que estuviste secuestrada, ¿te violaron muchas veces?
Como 4 veces.
¿Había más mujeres contigo?
Sí, había 3 mujeres conmigo.
¿Y las 4 estuvieron abusadas también?
Sí.
What's happening to these women might not be a coincidence. Cartels have developed a systematic, organized method to kidnap and collect ransom from migrants on their way to their immigration appointments.
Ahorita se están subiendo muchos a los autobuses y preguntando si vienen a las citas. Algunas personas dicen que sí y las bajan, les checan sus maletas, les quitan todo su dinero, les pegan para poderles también mandarle ese video a sus familiares para que vean que es verdad que están secuestrados.
Doctors Without Borders has seen this crisis up close. From October to December of 2023, they recorded a 70% increase in consultations for sexual violence in Matamoros and Reynosa compared to the prior 3 months. In the first 2 months of 2024, they have already seen nearly 70 cases. I just got back from talking to 3 asylum seekers, and at least 2 of them have been sexually assaulted. Is that what you guys are seeing on the ground too?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, when we have the consultations, our patients also tell us their stories, which are quite traumatizing.
The violence is creating a new crisis for many migrants: unwanted pregnancies. Do you offer pregnancy tests?
It is part of the protocol that we follow. It's actually the first medical treatment.
And does Doctors Without Borders also offer access to abortions or abortion pills? Is that something that's part of the work that you do?
We are actually very concerned all over the world, wherever we operate. We are very concerned about the unwanted pregnancies. We try to ensure that services are being offered to the women, and also to ensure that we ourselves adhere to the laws and norms of the country.
What many migrants don't know is that once they cross that border, a line that represents security, dreams, and opportunities, they're walking into the realities of post-Roe America. ¿Conoces sobre las leyes de aborto en Estados Unidos en estos momentos, en Texas?
No.
I want to note that we did reach out to CBP and we did not receive a response for them. But here's the thing, right? The longer that migrants wait on the Mexican side of the border, the more exposed they are to the cartels, Jose.
Yeah, and Paula, it's so infuriating and it's so sad at the same time. And we who have been covering this for so many years know that it's been a reality, but it's now gotten to this horrendous point. And Mexico is pretty much, I mean, any migrant that does the crossing, ask them and they'll say Mexico is the most dangerous and difficult part. For women, it includes probably rape. How, and would you explain why so many are still willing to make that journey?
Well, let's think of one of the many women that we just saw on our screen, Maria, for instance. If Maria stayed in Guatemala, in her hometown, it is very likely that she would be dead by now. It's very likely that she would be killed by the very same gangs that killed her own sister. So people have to understand that migrants go north because many times they have no other option, right? They go north because of the most human principle that we can all relate to, which is that instinct to survive, that instinct to protect your family, that instinct to go towards the north because there are more opportunities. And I do believe that people can understand that that is a human and universal principle. There's no other option for many.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, when will the focus be on how Mexico permits this to happen day after day after day? Pablo Ramos, extraordinary work as always. Thank you.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.